Not sure if anybody hear me, but
And welcome back to EWC Central. As always, I have the pleasure of speaking to very special guests. We are interrupting that Rocket League game. You can keep watching that twitch.tv EWC_black. But we're taking a brief moment because I get to speak to a friend, a colleague, somebody that I've been speaking to since week 1 of this tournament. He is one of the stage hosts, he is one of the professional broadcasters, and he is bringing all of the hype, all of the energy, and all the conversations with all of the champions here at EWC for so many of these games and events. And he has been holding out on me because I didn't know he was the co-owner of Twisted Minds. So let me start by saying welcome, Fancy. It is a pleasure to have you on the show.
It is mine.
Let's start by talking about the show. Let's start talking about stage.
Sure.
How have you enjoyed stage hosting? How have you enjoyed so many games? Because we both share a love for League of Legends, which I know.
Absolutely. I mean, having the fact that, you know, it's my first time stage hosting in English, which is something that I...
Wait. This is the first time in English?
Yes. I mean, I've been doing stage hosting for 9 years, but the fact that I had to switch it up from Arabic to English, every time I have a mic and, you know, a camera in front of me and there's a crowd, my brain immediately goes to Arabic, but then it's been a struggle trying to switch all of that to English.
Fancy, I want it on the record officially. We've talked about League, we've talked about the games that we loved and the things. I'm telling you now, you are killing it on
Thank
stage.
you so much, man. It means a lot coming from you.
And I do mean that sincerely, especially because the crowds are raucous. I had lower expectations, not only for how many people show up, they are loud.
Right.
And is this normal for Arabic crowds, for esports events?
Have you been to a football match in Riyadh?
No, I have not.
Yeah, I mean, if you've been to a football match in Riyadh, you would know it gets really loud.
Listen, it's called soccer where I'm from, so
Well,
I'm not a football guy.
I mean, we call it football here, right?
Let's talk about the games. Obviously, being there the whole time, I want to transition into Twisted Minds, but as someone that's been on broadcast, I guess you've got two different perspectives, right? One, you're watching the tournaments, you're watching the results. Right. How has that been for you personally? And then we'll talk how it's been as a co-owner.
I mean, it's been really interesting, and the main thing that I loved about Esports World Cup is the storylines that we have here, especially with the whole key. You know, after a team wins, take the key for the the broken key for the team that you beat, and it's completely up to you which team you get to choose.
Yeah.
And then you slam it on the case of the trophy. That alone creates so much storyline that we can talk about for years to come. Right?
Fancy, are you on anybody's trophy that you know of? Whose trophy are you on?
Every time Falcons won a trophy, they've slammed our broken key into the case.
You know what?
Every time.
This brings me so much joy. Let's take a look at the club championship points. Now, as a reminder, you need to place top 8 in 2 titles, and the top 16 teams will be taking home a piece of the $20 million prize pool. I'm looking dead down the camera, and I'm looking. I don't see no Twisted Minds.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
You're currently in 12th place with 710 points. Now let's turn co-owner. What is your responsibility with Twisted Minds, and how do you reflect on Twisted Minds' journey here at EWC?
I mean, when it comes to our management, we always make sure that everyone is hands-on, especially when it comes to Esports World Cup. This is like so much is going on. You got so many players, so many rosters. 25 rosters in the club right now. So being able to manage all of that, also handling the sponsors, the marketing, social media, business development, merchandise, like so much going on, right?
Yeah.
And it all comes down to us doing well at the Esports World Cup, because like it's the main event that we
competing in, yeah.
We compete in, right? And honestly, it's been a challenge for us. But last year during Gamers 8 in 2023, we've been able to win the whole thing. So coming into Esports World Cup, it's a very similar format to how the club championship works.
Right.
And
is it a bit of a rude awakening going from that?
Yeah, I mean, we thought that we're gonna do well, get top 4, top 5, but the results hasn't been promising, let's say. Even so far, like we still have a team in PUBG PC, we still have a team in Tekken, but Arsenal and Ash, the Evo champion 5 times, and he lost his match yesterday.
Fancy,
I don't know what happened, man.
Justin Wong, the man that's behind that camera, he cursed all of the favorites for Street Fighter. I hold him personally responsible. Also, I do have to admit, I came in super hyped on Arsenal Ash. I was telling the production team here at EWC Central, I'm in love with the player, the story, the rise of Pakistan in Tekken is just, it's phenomenal, right? Did let him down. Would you like to see what the actual top 16 looks like? I know you've been busy. Can I show you?
Yeah, please.
Okay, let's bring up the top 16 clubs. And you can see Twisted Minds, 710 points. Toronto Ultras,
Okay,
10
but
ahead.
hold on.
Yes.
If we do get PUBG
Yes,
PC
top eight.
Battlegrounds,
Yes.
then that means we will just qualify immediately to
So,
top
Look at it this way.
4, I think.
Hold on. You got to remember, you need
We
to place
still got a
in
chance.
the top 8 in PUBG Battlegrounds. And if you place the top 8, if you place 8th,
Right.
you get 60 points, which will bump you 1 position.
But if we
So-
get first place,
Oh yeah, that's. Sorry, can I get an update? Who's winning in PUBG right now?
It's,
Let's go to Fancy. Let's go to Fancy with the update. Who's in first?
well, I mean, it's Falcons.
Yeah, exactly.
But wait, keep in mind that
Yeah.
our roster in PUBG specifically, they always don't really do well
I've
in
heard.
in the group stage.
Yeah.
But then immediately when the playoffs happen, when the pressure is on, they just
What
do
I'm
well.
very happy to hear is that's
Yeah.
actually exactly what I have heard as well, as far as the Twisted Minds PUBG goes. Now let's turn. What is the outlook like for Twisted Minds ahead of EWC? We mentioned you. Gamers 8 last year, huge success.
Right.
Little bit of a rude awakening this year, but what is next for Twisted Minds and Fancy after the event wraps up on Sunday?
I mean, there's so much to catch up on, right? Our main objective is to have a local presence where, I mean, in Saudi, I'm not sure if you know this, we have so much talent when it comes to players. And our job as a local team, we need to highlight those players. We need to foster like a home for them and be able to just bring them to light and get them to the international stage. So there's a lot of initiatives that we're doing, whether it's academies and anything around that, to be able to bring those players to light. But we've also been revising a lot of our approach when it comes to how we deal with rosters, right?
Got it.
Because sometimes, like you would sign a roster, you would think it would do well. I mean, take Falcons, Apex Legends team, for example.
I'll do one other.
Everyone thought that they're going to win.
Vitality, MLBB Women's
go.
Invitational.
That's right.
1,000 days without dropping a tournament final. 22 tournament finals in a row.
Right.
To get upset by an organization called Smart Mega Empress. It's
Exactly.
comparatively speaking a much smaller club, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's beautiful. I will say this. It's been incredibly eye-opening for me. I've had the best time. I also want to tell you very personally, and this is not a request, it is a little. I think the Twisted Minds jerseys are by far the coolest at the event, by the way.
Actually,
Legitimately.
Okay. That's so funny because 50% of the audience
It's
would be like,
polarizing.
exactly.
is.
They either don't really like it that much,
Yeah.
or they just love it so much they wear it all the time.
It's two things, right? So first of all, the colors are very bright, like that turquoisey blue.
Yeah.
I don't know what the word is. I'm a touch colorblind.
Yeah.
It's a loud color,
Right.
and the baseball jersey. But I've seen baseball jerseys in League of Legends. G2 did it for a while. People again polarized. You either loved it or you hated it.
Yeah.
I think they are the coolest.
Yeah, so the whole approach for the jersey and how we wanted to
Yeah.
design it is everyone, every time they try to, teams, whenever they want to do a jersey, they just focus on having the player wear it and it looks cool, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, in Saudi, we still don't have that much of an esports audience, right?
Yeah.
We wanted to do something that they can wear it all the time. Like,
Yeah, but
even if you're
listen,
going out with friends.
Also, you
yeah.
need to think about the clothes you wear here in Saudi.
well, yeah, I mean-
there are additional factors
hello.
to consider, and the temperature, regardless.
Yeah.
Fancy, I'm being told I'm slowly running out of time. I have legitimately enjoyed watching your work. I get to sit here every day and watch you on stage. We get to tune into your interviews. I doubt you know how much you appear on our show. So
I
it is
have no clue, to be honest.
exactly. It is multiple times per day.
Oh.
And we run 4 days a week from 3 until 7. But like all jokes aside, so we've seen you a lot. It has been a pleasure to watch. I tell every one of my guests, would you like to give a shout out to your audience, to your fans? And if you would like to do it in English and Arabic, you can do so. Camera number 1. You can do it either
I can do it
Fancy
both.
the broadcaster, or you can do it as the co-owner of Twisted Minds. It's up to you.
Thank you. I mean, if there's one thing that I would say is that Twisted Minds might not have done well at the beginning of the Esports World Cup, but we still have Tekken, we still have PUBG PC, we still have a Rocket League roster that's playing later on today. And I know that a lot of fans have believed in us and they cheered for us, they showed up in every match, but we might not have been up to your expectations, but trust me, there's a lot of work that's being done behind the scenes that, we're going to make everyone happy. We're going to do what we do best, and we're going to try to get those trophies. So,
I like that. Now something in
Yeah.
Arabic. Come on.
what do you mean?
Do you want to give a shout out in Arabic at all?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
يعطيكم العافية الجماهير اللي كل اللي يشجعون توستد مايندز، ما قصرتوا على تشجيعكم، على دعمكم لنا خلال الموسم كامل، لكن الشيء اللي دائما أنا يعني يحزنني شوي إنه ما قدرنا إننا نسوي الشيء اللي أنتم متوقعون. فباذن الله في تكن وفي ببجي بي سي وفي روكيت ليج بعد راح نعوض كل الخسائر اللي صارت في الفتره الماضيه، وباذن الله ما يخلص الموسم الا وحنا توب فور اقل شيء.
Oh, thank you so much. Fancy, I have one last thing just before I let you
Tell me.
go on your way. What we've done every week here is we have an exclusive piece of merch that is from our show. We've put little, like, it's really lame. I wrote this, so apologies. Week 8, we've got the games. We get all the guests to sign it. You're actually going to be my first interview guest to sign this over and above.
Actually, oh, good. It's my honor.
We're not going to sign it on camera. It's not the most beautiful thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to head to a break. I'm going to get Fancy to sign this, and we'll be giving this away. We'll share details with you on exactly how that happens later on in the weekend. When we come back, we have another interview lined up. I believe this is Sofia Esfana. Hopefully I said that right. Yes. And we'll be introducing ESL R1 on the other side of this. Don't go anywhere.